This saga's been going on for a long time, as we know. But one of the main issues is him at Royal Lodge. Vast mansion. It's in disrepair. Not as bad, I think, as people say. It's still, it's still got gardeners and it's still got people, servants and stuff like that there.
I think we'd all happily move in.
For 22 years, Prince Andrew has lived in one of Britain's most exclusive royal residences without paying a penny in rent, and he hasn't lived there alone. His ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, continues to share the home with him. Despite their divorce nearly 3 decades ago, now a newly revealed unredacted lease exposes the astonishing details behind their arrangement at Royal Lodge, the 30-room mansion on the Windsor estate. The Duke and Duchess may no longer wield influence, but their royal privileges remain firmly intact. In 2003, Prince Andrew secured a 75-year lease on the former home of the Queen Mother, paying £1 million upfront and committing to £7.5 million in refurbishments. In return, the Crown Estate granted him a peppercorn rent, a symbolic payment of just £1 a year, but only if requested.
Duchess of York, ready for the slopes, emerged from her chalet here at mid-morning to talk for the first time about the divorce.
Very well, thank you. Children are very well behaved. Ready to go skiing. I would say that would be understatement. Yeah, very sad.
For more than 2 decades, this agreement has allowed the Duke of York to live rent-free in a mansion that would command an enormous price on the open market. And the benefits don't end there. If Andrew ever leaves the property before the lease's expiry in 2078, whether by choice or by force, the Crown Estate must compensate him with roughly £500,000. The revelations have sparked public fury, with MPs and campaigners demanding explanations. How can a disgraced royal, stripped of titles and official duties, continue to enjoy such extraordinary advantages? Sources close to the Crown Estate argue that Andrew's initial payment and costly renovations were intended to cover decades of rent. But Royal Lodge is more than a home, it's a financial drain. The maintenance, heating, and staffing required to keep a 30-room mansion running amount to millions each year.
We don't know where this money's come from. Sometimes finances, as we've seen recently with things like Dispatches programme, or Andrew himself with Epstein, when he took money off, Epstein gave money to pay off Sarah Ferguson's loan, and we got the oligarch that he sold.
And here's where Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, comes back into the picture. Despite their divorce in 1996, Fergie never really left Royal Lodge. She and Andrew have continued to share the property ever since, proudly describing themselves as the happiest divorced couple in the world. They live in separate wings, but remain financially and emotionally intertwined. Sarah has called their relationship a partnership built on mutual love and support, and it's clear that both depend on each other in a number of ways. When the Queen Mother passed away, Andrew inherited the right to lease her former home. But unlike other members of the royal family, he no longer receives any public allowance. And recent reports suggest that he didn't receive a significant inheritance from either Queen Elizabeth II or his grandmother. That leaves a crucial question. How are they managing to afford such a lavish lifestyle?
Bought the house too for £3 million over the asking price. Sometimes money is the Achilles heel. Do you think we should know how Andrew has secured money to remain in Royal Lodge?
My feeling on this is, look, he's out of royal duties now, so there's a degree of he can, go about his life as long as it's.
Without a royal income or significant inheritance, how are Andrew and Sarah funding this extravagant life? Since stepping back from public royal duties, Andrew has been cut off from any taxpayer support. His security, once funded by the government, is now his responsibility to cover. King Charles III reportedly offered a compromise, move into a smaller property, perhaps Frogmore Cottage, which Prince Harry and Meghan Markle recently vacated, and in return, Charles would reinstate a private allowance and contribute towards security costs. Andrew refused. He insists that his lease is ironclad, meaning even the king cannot force him out as long as he adheres to the terms of the agreement. For King Charles, however, this is a continuing frustration. At a time when he is championing a slimmed-down monarchy, the image of his disgraced brother and his ex-wife living in luxury on Crown property has become a public relations headache.
You are innocent. Would you pay £12 million to someone that is accusing you of awful, awful things?
Behind the palace walls, Royal Lodge is often referred to as the problem that won't go away. It's vast, expensive, and politically sensitive. Sarah Ferguson has played a pivotal role in keeping the estate afloat, or at least maintaining the appearance of financial stability. She's written best-selling novels, promoted various brands, and attended countless public events, often presenting herself as a self-made woman who has reinvented herself multiple times. However, those close to the couple know that Sarah's finances haven't always been as solid as she presents them. Over the years, she's faced bankruptcy warnings, failed business ventures, and scandals involving money. She's openly admitted to making poor financial decisions and mismanaging her funds in the past. Today, she claims to be debt-free and independent. But insiders say that she still relies heavily on Andrew for housing and support.
And you're releasing your book, and you've agreed to do
the book has already been released, and the thing is, I'm not going to go down to this point. I'm going to answer your questions, but that's done. It's finished. I've answered it. Thank you very much. Moving on to the next question.
This is just the starting point of this year in your life that you've written about.
Thank you very much.
Royal Lodge is more than just a home. It's the last remaining symbol of status for both Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson. Andrew clings to the title of resident, while Sarah clings to the lifestyle it affords her. Sources in Windsor describe the mansion as a money pit, requiring constant repairs and a team of gardeners, housekeepers, and maintenance staff just to keep it functional. And without royal funding, the couple's financial situation remains shrouded in mystery. Adding to their isolation, both Andrew and Sarah have been largely excluded from official royal events. While King Charles has shown private compassion toward his brother, he is reportedly determined to keep Andrew and Sarah from re-entering royal life. For Andrew, the timing of these revelations could not be worse. They come amid renewed public scrutiny over his past connections to the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, and the ongoing allegations that continue to haunt his reputation.
Since Jeffrey Epstein was arrested and killed himself in prison, all the men who ever associated with him have come under fire. No one more so than Prince Andrew.
Although Andrew denies any wrongdoing, the shadow of his associations with Epstein has permanently sidelined him. Now, as MPs call for him to be formally stripped of his remaining titles through an act of parliament, Sarah Ferguson is also feeling the pressure. Recently, she altered her social media handles, dropping the word Duchess, while their daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, have quietly pulled back from public appearances, including a charity ball in London, to avoid further embarrassment. Yet, despite the fallout, both daughters have remained loyal, frequently visiting their father at Royal Lodge in an effort to project unity. For the monarchy, the optics are disastrous. King Charles is focused on modernizing the royal family, reducing costs, and restoring public trust. Meanwhile, his brother continues to live in a lavish royal residence, rent-free. What was once a symbol of royal grace, Royal Lodge has become a symbol of royal excess. Critics argue that this exposes the double standard at the heart of the monarchy. While working royals face public scrutiny and obligations, Andrew and Sarah continue to enjoy royal privileges without accountability. Behind the scenes, there's talk that the Crown Estate may eventually renegotiate or even buy back the lease. But such a move would be legally and politically complicated. Andrew could demand compensation, and any public payout would likely lead to even greater outrage. The collapse of Andrew and Sarah's royal standing didn't happen overnight. It's been the result of decades of scandal and misjudgment. Andrew's fall from grace was cemented when he voluntarily relinquished his military titles and royal patronages in early 2022. This month, he officially gave up his ducal title, with Buckingham Palace confirming that he would no longer be referred to as His Royal Highness, or the Duke of York in any official capacity. His biography remains on the royal website, but his title has quietly disappeared. Sarah's journey mirrors his. When she divorced Andrew in 1996, she lost the right to be addressed as Her Royal Highness and was demoted to Sarah, Duchess of York. Now, amid fresh scrutiny over their shared life at Royal Lodge, even that title is fading. By dropping Duchess from her social media, She signals that both she and Andrew are royals in name only, once figures of global fame and grandeur, now stripped of official status. For now, the Duke and Duchess remain entrenched at Royal Lodge, with Andrew staying largely out of sight, occasionally photographed driving through the Windsor grounds. But behind those gates, the reality is far from idyllic. The mansion's upkeep costs millions each year. The king is losing patience, and public tolerance for royal entitlement is running thin. 22 years of living rent-free may be legally sound, but in the court of public opinion, it's increasingly indefensible. At its core, the Royal Lodge saga is more than just about a house. It's about what that house represents. It's the story of two people who once stood at the center of the royal world, but now exist on its fringes, unwilling to let go of the last piece of privilege they still hold. For Prince Andrew, it's a matter of pride and defiance. For Sarah Ferguson, it's about survival and maintaining her image. For the monarchy, it's a growing liability. And for the British public, it serves as one more reminder that even in the modern age, royal walls can still protect royal privilege. As King Charles moves forward with his vision of a leaner, more transparent monarchy, one thing is clear: Royal Lodge has become the biggest obstacle in his path. And unless Andrew and Sarah finally agree to move on, the controversy surrounding them will continue to cast a long shadow over Windsor and the crown itself.